Belarus are voting in presidential elections with a serious challenge to the man who has run the country for more than a quarter of a century. Alexander Lukashenko is running for his sixth time. He's been in power for 26 years now. Several of his rivals were put in prison or fled into exile earlier this summer. But a political novelist, Elena Korosteleva, stepped into the race in their place and has drawn some big crowds in rallies across the country, and she's been calling for change. A key figure of her campaign, Veronica Sepkalo, has reportedly fled the country for safety reasons. I've been talking to Professor Elena Korosteleva, Director of the Global Europe Centre at the University of Kent, who is originally from Belarus and has been casting her votes this afternoon in the election over here. I started by asking her how much of a threat Ms. Siskanskaya to President Lukashenko was in terms of his hopes for a sixth term in office.
The challenge is massive simply because the levels of mobilization are absolutely astounding. I'm standing just outside the embassy in London. It's just incredible looking at the crowd of people, how they're cheering everyone coming out of the embassy, looking at the way they voted, and exit poll registering every single vote that comes out here. And what is amazing is that the queue is about 2,000 people long, and it just basically passed so many streets, and the crowd and the peaceful mood of protest of people, of voters, and also people opposite us, demonstrators. It's just incredibly peaceful, but also wanting change.
But President Lukashenko won with 80% back in 2010. There was civil unrest there were demonstrations. Do you think he will win this time? And if he does, will the elections be considered free and fair internationally?
All odds are that the president is very likely to win this vote, given the way the Central Election Committee and the whole machinery is organized around it. However, given the level of civic mobilization across the country and beyond the country, we have volunteers here who are actually taking a record of everyone who came in to vote. It would be very interesting to see the difference between the real vote and the vote that is going to be reported by the Central Election Committee.
Professor Elena Korosteleva speaking to me a little earlier. Now, Max